Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another contender for the best luxury holiday launch of the year. I think Guerlain is going to give Dior a run for its money. This was the first collection that was love at first sight. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't peek inside this box, but I picked up just about everything. So I'm going to share my entire haul and full review with you. First up, we have the Ombre G eyeshadow palette in shade 888. Regardez-moi. This is my first Guerlain eyeshadow quad. If it was up to me, I probably would have picked different shades to put inside since we have so many pinks, reds, and raspberries, but I don't care. This is still so stunning. The palette comes in a beautiful Guerlain velvet protector, and you can see just how dazzling it is. It is so sparkly. I don't think the camera and lights are going to do it justice, but when you see it in direct sunlight, it is absolutely stunning. I'll be honest, it's a pretty aggressive matte red eyeshadow. You may be able to get away with using the red, the pink as blush. Maybe we might try it, but I actually really like this sort of brown copper shade down here, and I like the matte pink as well because it's a lighter bubblegum shade. That I think is actually a bit more wearable than, just to compare, the fuchsia metallic pink in the holiday palette from Chanel. I think this pink is a little bit more wearable. Not my favorite color story. I don't think it's that bad, and I absolutely love this exterior packaging, so this was a no-brainer for me. I had to have it. And then we have the Meteorites, the light revealing pearls of powder to set, correct, mattify, and illuminate. It has naturally derived mother of pearl infused. Again, the camera doesn't do the sparkle any justice. It comes in a very pretty gold tin. It's a really gorgeous shade. And then inside you have some pearly yellow, pearl, purple, and pink balls. Also comes with the little spongy poof as well. Lots of fragrance, lots of shimmer. These are going to be so beautiful and luminous on the skin. I'm so excited about these. It has been a while since Guerlain has come out with a collection like this where every piece is just 10 out of 10 outstanding, some of the most beautiful makeup I've ever seen. They used to have collections like this pretty regularly, but I feel like it's been a while. I went ahead and picked up the terracotta bronzing powder since I don't have a Guerlain bronzer and I've been going through the bronzers in my collection. This is so beautiful. It's made of 96% naturally derived ingredients. It has a very small gold overspray on top, but this is going to dust away probably the first time you use it. The bronzer only comes in one shade. It looks like a nice medium bronzer shade, I would say. This I'm not sure I'm going to use today. If I can, I will insert a swatch, but I just haven't had a chance to take any pictures of this yet. I don't want to mess it up before I'm able to capture photos of the collection. And then this is really the must-have piece. It's the lipstick case, of course. I went crazy for this as soon as I saw pictures. I went ahead and put it together. So this is the box that the case itself comes in. This is the double mirror jewel case. The Rouge G in Embrasse-moi. I purchased a different lipstick shade originally, and then I got an email saying that it wasn't available. I was holding my breath when I read the email because I thought they were going to tell me that the lipstick case was sold out, but that wasn't true. The lipstick was gone, so I went with shade 131 Le Beige Praline. This looks like a really pretty light beige, and I actually had to purchase this one from Neiman Marcus because they sold out of all of the nudes really quickly from the Guerlain website. I want to say the case is $48 and then the lipstick is $42, and together it comes out to be around $90 for the lipstick. So very expensive, and I know it is really disappointing that the gold lipsticks don't fit the silver cases. I have a pretty good collection going of the Rouge G cases. Now I guess I need new lipsticks to fill them. It's a little Moulin Rouge or maybe luxurious summer vacation at the Eden Rock, something really over the top. Online they offer free engraving to your lipstick case. So I engraved mine with Erin Nicole, and it's like a little cursive signature down here at the bottom corner of the mirror, which is that perfect little personalized touch. As if this wasn't beautiful enough on its own, the fact that you can personalize it is so nice. I think this would be an incredible holiday gift. I mean, if somebody gifted this to me, I would feel so special. And they also threw in some fragrance samples, which they usually do. Sometimes There's skincare included as well. And something I didn't realize until I placed my order is that I wouldn't say it's an incredible loyalty program, but they do have a point system. So make sure you set up an account if you're purchasing directly from the Guerlain website, because they have little gifts with purchase that you can add depending on your points. So I'm saving mine right now. I have my eye on the 600 point brush set. There's a little brush trio that looks really pretty, but they also had a really gorgeous jade roller, travel makeup bag, a couple other really nice looking gifts with purchase that you can pick up once you've spent enough money with them. Okay, so here's a little sample of the Abbé Royal. Is this the oil? Yes, the Advanced Youth Watery Oil. I love this. And then we have 3 fragrance samples: Musk Ultra Blanc, Spirituous Double Vanille, and Rose Cherie. Beautiful fragrances, and these are great to just throw in your purse or to take with you when you travel. I scooted in nice and close, and I learned my lesson from the Chanel video, so we're gonna do eyes first. I prepped my eyes with a little concealer, a little powder, just to help even them out. This one looks really good. This one is a little bit dry, so I've picked up a flat shader brush, and I am gonna go into this bronze shade down here at the bottom. I think this is going to go all over the lid. You can see it looks pretty dark. It definitely does not look orange on the eye, which is nice. I really want to thank everyone who reached out with kind words regarding Hurricane Milton. I have good news to report. Everybody is safe and sound. It was not the worst case scenario that we were afraid of after all. Of course, there's still a ton of damage, but my parents are safe. They're okay. I spoke to them last night, and they got hit pretty hard. If you look at the direct path of the hurricane, it almost looks like the eye went straight over my house where we are inland. They're still without power. It's been 2 days now. Hopefully the power will be restored within another day or two, because it is still Florida. It's nice and hot, and things are, I'm sure, getting really uncomfortable at this point. When I talked to my mom, she said it looks like a tornado went through the neighborhood. They lost maybe 60% of the oak trees and the grandfather oaks, and probably 40% of the houses in our neighborhood sustained major damage from all of the trees coming down. Some people have trees through the roof, through the pool, through the porch, but they got incredibly lucky. They did have water come up in the backyard, but nothing flooded and no major tree damage, thankfully. A lot of the neighborhoods near my parents got completely flooded. There are a lot of lakes and rivers, so it wasn't the storm surge, it was actually freshwater flooding. She said it rained so much. They got so much more rain than they were expecting, and the rivers and the lakes and the ponds just couldn't take it. So unfortunately, there are a lot of people with flooding, with water damage. And of course, the electricity is out. And it's a really rural area with lots of trees. So anytime the power does go out, not only are you not necessarily a top priority because you're not in the city, when they get to you, it's a little bit later, and it's going to be really difficult because they're going to have to get rid of all of the tree debris from the streets so that any cars can get through before they can even think about restoring the power. So there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done out there. But the house was spared, and they're safe. So that's the most important thing. My mom and my dad spent all day yesterday cleaning up the yard and helping out the neighbors, and everybody's just been helping each other. With a fluffy brush, I'm just blending that into the crease, making sure it's nice and soft. And because it's a creamier eyeshadow, it's really easy to work with. So no fallout, and it's blending really nicely as well. With that same fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up the pink, and I'm going to use this to blend out the crease a little bit. See what this looks like. I like that they included some mattes in the palette. Miami has been very lucky so far this season. Fingers crossed, we're almost through the end of it. We didn't really get any bad weather. We actually had worse weather a couple days leading up to Milton, but just basic tropical downpours, some pretty bad storms. We didn't see sun for 5 days, and it wasn't until Wednesday when Milton was starting to come in that we did see some breaks in the weather. I could see some blue skies. sun for 5 minutes and then it would rain a couple minutes later. And then today it's back to gray skies and rain. Nothing bad, just a light drizzle, no flooding, nothing to be concerned about. So we're just going to be really grateful with our gray skies today. I don't really have a plan. I looked at the Guerlain website to try to get some inspo, and they don't really have a ton of pics using this eyeshadow palette yet. So just sort of making it up as I go. With a rougher 14 or just a little precision brush, I'm going into the deeper plum up here. And I am going to apply that to the outer V area. Just like the bronze, it's going on nice and smooth. If you don't like plummy colors, then this palette is not going to be for you. But if you like purples, plums, deep raspberry tones, it's a really nice eyeshadow. One thing that's been incredibly heartwarming to see, not to take away from the destruction and the chaos caused by Helene and Milton, but all of the foster dogs that were taken out of shelters and staying with families, that has been really nice to see on social media. People have just fallen in love with their foster pets. I'm quickly touching up the bronze, and then I'm going to clean up the eye and move on to the face. I pulled out the Guerlain Parure Gold Skin Matte Foundation. I have shade 3N. I'll be curious to keep playing around with this eyeshadow palette and see the type of range it has. I was tempted to do the matte pink on the lid and then not really touch anything else. I mean, we know what look you're gonna get from these colors. I mean, it's very red, pink, burgundy. That's really the look you're going to get. But I do think if you did just a little bit of this on the lid and that's it wouldn't be quite so red. You could go in with the bronze and not touch any of the other three on the eye if you really don't like reds and pinks on the eyes. So I do think you'd have a little more range than you might think. But for the sake of today's video, I wanted to experiment with more than one shade. It would have been tough to create a look using multiple shades in this pan and have it not look similar to what we have. Very red, very raspberry. I didn't pull out a Guerlain concealer. I'm almost done with this Fenty and I am so excited to throw this in the empties bin. So I'm just doing my best to use it all up. I saw some questions regarding the meteorites asking if it was a limited edition shade, and I checked the website and it looks like the pearls themselves are not different or unique, but it's a different color combination than what's normally available. You do have purple, but you don't have green, you don't have the pink. I don't know if they did that so it will work for more skin tones. You don't have bronze or any of the deeper shades. I don't know if they would consider that technically limited edition, but it is a unique combination. You know the drill. I'm letting this dry down for a moment and then I'm going to spritz my face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray and blend everything out. I'm quickly bronzing with my Fenty Cream Bronzer because I'm almost done with it. I'd like to get rid of it. And I still need to take pictures of the new Guerlain bronzer. So I'm just adding a little color to my face. And then I'm going to try to see if I can use some of these eyeshadows as a blush. I'm going to quickly set my face using the Guerlain Parure Gold Skin Diamond Micro Powder. This is a really nice setting powder. I picked up shade 01. It's the lightest shade available. It's very brightening in my opinion. And I would say it's pretty matte, but also incredibly finely milled. So it goes on nice and sheer. It's not going to add coverage, it just sets everything in place. It definitely helps blur any imperfections and blur texture in pores. And a little bit goes a really long way. You don't need a ton of product. That's true for most powders, but with this one, I definitely make sure that I'm not using too much. I quickly filled in my eyebrows. Eyes and face are now almost done with a little flat shader brush. I'm picking up the bronze and I need to run this beneath the lower lash line. I guess it's not really a bronze, it's more of a copper. It definitely has a bit of a reddish tone to it. So it complements the other shades in the palette really nicely, but if you are trying to escape the red, you really can't. It's not really possible. With a very fluffy powder brush, I'm not sure this is gonna work, but I'm gonna do my best to pick up the pink shadow to apply as a blush. I know people are going to be curious if this will work, and I'm sort of curious myself. So let's see. I think as long as I blend everything out, it might work. I actually like it. I think it does work because it's matte and it's not metallic, so it doesn't emphasize any texture. As long as you go in with a really, really fluffy brush, I think it does work. Okay, let me not overdo it, but I actually think that looks really flattering. I'm too scared to go into the red, but I feel like the red would work as well, as long as you're really light-handed. Red blush is sort of having a moment. This could be the perfect shade. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I think it looks really nice. See, this to me actually looks much more flattering than using the fuchsia pink from the Chanel palette as a blush. That looked a little bit funny on the cheek because it is slightly metallic. It didn't blend as nice. Maybe I wasn't using the right brush. I'll try it again, but I think this shade up here actually does work as a blush. It does look really nice. Still not necessarily the best, most flattering possible option as a blush, but you can use it as a blush and I think it works. I'm just gonna finish the eyes with eyeliner and mascara. You know the drill. I'm going into the waterline with my Brune Platine. And I think I'm gonna do a brown or maybe a bronzy eyeliner on the top. Definitely dramatic, but this is an evening holiday look. Keep that in mind. And I think I would wear an eye like this with maybe black dress, potentially gold, white, neutrals, solids, something like that. And our final step, finishing powder. Of course, we're gonna go into these meteorites. I am so excited. I don't think I'm gonna use the puff. There's really no reason for it. I have plenty of powder on my face. I don't necessarily wanna go in with something so intense. Instead, I picked up this rougher brush. It's just sort of a fan. I'm gonna stir in there. You can see it kicking up all of the pearl dust. Ooh, it's so pretty. And I am just going to powder the face. Doing a very light dusting, just to add a little glow back to the skin. And it does have a lot of glow to it. And that's it. Overall, I love the way this look turned out. It's basically what I expected. It's hard to avoid the eyes looking very red, very pink with a palette like this. I still really love these colors, and I think it is relatively versatile. You can mix it up and do a lot of other things with the palette. I love the texture, no fallout, they're easy to blend, so the eyeshadow quality I think is really what stands out to me the most. The eyeshadow quality and the exterior packaging, it makes me sort of curious to try some of the other Guerlain palettes. Love the meteorites, love the lipstick case. Aesthetically speaking, this is the holiday collection of 2024. It's so beautiful. It's not an everyday look, but it's so festive, so fun, and I think all of these pieces would make an incredible gift as well because they're so unique, they're collector's item. These are special pieces that you're gonna remember. You're not just gonna forget about this collection when something else comes out next week or next month. This is going to stay top of mind for a really long time. In fact, I think they've sort of put themselves in a position where this is going to be really tough to beat next year. Makeup is done. I already captured my thumbnail, so now I'm just playing around a little bit. I don't want to ruin what I have on my face because I'm planning to film after lunch, but I kind of want to dip into the red and see if I can make that work as a blush as well. So I'm just gonna tippity tap tap in there and we'll see what happens. I think the red can be used as a blush as well, just to give you that sun-kissed, slightly sunburnt, blushed look. I don't hate it. It's very subtle. Even though it doesn't look subtle, it does work. So if you like a red blush or a pink blush, even if you don't like these two as eyeshadows, it can be done. You have to be light-handed, and I would say go in with an extremely fluffy, natural hair brush that isn't going to pick up too much product. Dust off the excess, and then look, blushing, sun-kissed, summer in Saint-Tropez, something like that. Something very French and sun-kissed. Beautiful. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing this collection in action. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Of course, I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on this collection, all of the holiday launches. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a least favorite? Let me know down below in the comment section. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be tagged directly to this video and listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.